I've been dealing with some anger issues over the years. Actually, I think I've had anger issues since I was in fucking high school, man. All through my 20s, 30s, now I'm gonna be, 39 this year? All through those years, I never really thought about addressing them until I had my daughter. My wife had my daughter. We had our daughter. Me and my wife, dude, we used to fight all the fucking time when we were dating. And looking back, I was probably the cause for a lot of those fights. We used to fight over stupid shit, man. Maybe some of you guys can relate if you got a significant other in your life. If you look back at those stupid things you used to fight over and think, well, what was the cause of those fights? It's like, well, she did this or he did that, or he didn't listen to me or she didn't listen to me. And we can come up with a lot of excuses, man. What causes anger? Anger is caused primarily by unmet expectations. If you can think about anything that makes you angry, your girlfriend, tries to check your phone, or your boyfriend didn't pick up the phone, or your mom said some offhanded comment and made you, frustrated and angry. Well, I don't know, man. Whatever it is that makes you angry, it all boils down to, or you can distill it into, an unmet expectation. We expect somebody to do something or to respond a certain way to something we say or do, and they don't. Their response or their reaction is different from what we expected. That causes us to be angry. You can't get angry at a baby. But I remember I used to get frustrated a lot when she was in her 2s and 3s, the terrible 2s. And it was over stupid things. Things that a baby or a toddler should do naturally. It used to frustrate me. Even now she's going on 6, things that she does these days frustrate me. And I keep asking myself, why do I let them frustrate me? She's doing what a 5-year-old does, Recently, I've been going to a counselor to, go through some of these problems that I dealt with in the past and distill them down into something that I can identify. And if I can identify the cause or the trigger, then I can address it, If I say something to my daughter, for example, hey, baby, go pick up your toys. That way we can sit down and watch this movie together. Or, just something simple. And I expect her to say, okay, Daddy, I'll go pick my toys up. She says, I don't want to. And she throws a fit. I get angry. You would get angry too. In that situation, you tell your kid to do something and they say no, all right? But what is the reason for being angry? It's an unmet expectation. I expected her to go pick up her toys. She said no, expectations were not met. I get angry. And you can translate that into any other situation. So if we understand that anger is caused by unmet expectations, then how do we fix it, obviously people are going to disappoint us all the time. People are going to not meet our expectations all the time. So it doesn't mean we just get angry all the time? Obviously no. But being able to identify the trigger of what makes you angry is a good starting point. And I say you, and I'm really talking to myself here. Okay, I don't think I'm some kind of psychiatrist trying to give advice. I'm not your psychiatrist. I'm just sharing what I've learned. Before even the situation happens, before I ask my daughter to pick up her toys, before I ask my wife something, wherever they respond with, am I already thinking about them responding that way? For example, if I tell my daughter to if I want to tell my daughter to pick up her toys, am I already thinking that she's gonna say no? And that's gonna make me angry? Am I already picturing that scenario? Because that's wrong, right? It's wrong to already assume or to predict that a person is gonna respond negatively because they already put you in the mindset that I'm gonna get angry. That's the first step. You can't do that. I can't do that. All right? She's 5. 5-year-olds, 5-year-olds are just, they're explorers, man. They want to see the world. They want to see their world. They want to exert some kind of control and power over the world, even though they really can't. Although there are some things they can control, they don't have the ability yet, but they would think they do. If I know that a 5-year-old doesn't want to pick up the toys, before I ask them to pick up the toys, should it make me angry when they say no? That's exactly what was going to happen anyway. We can't play the scenario in our mind before it even happens. Ask yourself, is this worth getting angry for? Again, she's 5. Me getting angry is gonna do nothing but release my frustration onto her. And as you know, it's kind of like a poison. It spreads. She's in a bad mood and she mouths off at her mother. Now her mother's in a bad mood and her mother mouths off to me. And now we're all in a bad mood. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth getting angry for. If anything, the worst part about it is it causes emotional scars in my daughter or in your spouse or in your friend. You can't take words back. What's said is said. In moments of anger and frustration, particularly for young kids, it stays. You got parents and they got angry at you all the time. Those moments stick with you, The great moments stick too, but There's always that lingering doubt that perhaps my dad or my mom, I can't trust them, they're gonna get angry. If you think that it's not worth getting angry for, what can you do to head that off? This all happens before the interaction with the person ever happens. You have to go through these steps in your mind, and it's an active process, which is why a lot of people, I think, don't wanna do it or deal with it, because it requires mental energy. It requires fortitude and maturity to handle these situations. It's much easier to just fly off the fucking handle all the damn time, you know? What can I do in this situation to not get angry? Well, in the case of my daughter asking her to pick up her toys, instead of saying, hey, daughter, go pick up your toys, because I said so, I'm your dad. What are some other ways I can do it? Well, hey, baby, let's watch a movie, but before we do, let's go in here and clean your room together. Me and you, Daddy and Libby, we're gonna pick up our toys together. It feels collaborative. Two, it gives a reason why we gotta clean the room. Well, we gotta watch the movie together, but your room's all messed up. Okay, so let's clean up the toys before we watch the movie. And she gets to spend time with me, I get to spend time with her. It's a really rudimentary example, but you can see how you can apply this thinking process to all of your interactions with anybody. It's really easy to continue to try to validate why you get angry. That's the way I am. It's my fucking zodiac sign or some bullshit. It's really easy to try to justify your shitty behavior. I used to justify my shitty behavior all the time. And it caused my relationships to suffer, man. I lost friendships. I've hurt my wife more times than I would like to admit. And I've hurt my daughter with my shitty reactions and my anger and frustration that is not her fault. I think we adults can choose to be a certain way, You don't have to continue to be a shitty person. Take a step back and think about it for a second. Like, if you are a type of person who gets angry all the time, are your expectations not being met? And if they aren't, are your expectations justifiable? Like, are you expecting too much? Expect that people, adults, have their own life, their own mind, their own desires, their own wishes, their own dreams. The world doesn't revolve around you. It doesn't revolve around me. And if you can do that, you can identify that before even interacting with anybody, that this person is their own person. And this kid is 5 years old, and yet she still has her own mind, and she's trying to explore her world. Then I can temper my expectations. And as long as I can temper my expectations and understand that, I won't be as angry. You have the wherewithal to just process each situation as a unique situation. Go a long way towards you, healing. It's a healing process. And learning how to really be a better friend, a better husband, a better father. And I hope you guys got something from this video. I'll talk to you guys next time.